Well, everybody who's listening to this on the actual replay is about to get really confused because we're in different caster chats. But we are all in this game. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 3. Today, we're taking a look at the Leftside Lunchboxes taking on Arkosh Ganging for the title of the dark horse of the season, basically. Leftside Lunchboxes overperforming the expectations I think most people had of their team. Pretty good way in the first couple of weeks. Arkosh Ganging, no offense to Inhale, but they just took a pretty major upgrade by substituting him for somebody who can actually play support.
I thought it was going to be Super Flame for a second.
I mean, he just doesn't play it. He just, like, never doesn't have any games on it, so they replacing him with Diva D, who is a support main, is not a bad idea. And with us today, we have Randy.
Hello.
The Doctor of Dota, and RayBaeBae.
I have no idea why I'm here.
Me neither. You don't have a special title, even. I actually gotta change the ad copy, too.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, since Howler got conscripted.
5 seconds.
I already knocked Howler off the ad copy, I just gotta add Ray. Arkosh, knocking out the Death Prophet, the Furion there. The Death Prophet's a bit interesting.
Make this Prophet ban in my game, 45% win rate.
Hell yeah. Lina, first pick here. Not terribly surprising, like I said before. Feels like at this point you can basically safely say that if these two heroes aren't banned, these are going to be the two first picks in the lobby. And the Dawnbreaker coming out as well. Very early Dawn.
They let Looter have it. Interesting.
Yeah, Heller was actually talking before the game, which, by the way, he's in this game. He actually had to leave the desk to join this this particular lobby. But Heller was talking about how he felt like it was pretty unlikely they let Looter have the Dawn. The interesting thing is that they don't have the tall balls here, but they still can put that Dawnbreaker on Looter, they can put it on Matty Boy, they could potentially put it on RayBaeBae if they wanted to. Probably not the most ideal situation for him. They can flex that Dawn in a lot of ways. Does make it interesting, it just means that Dawn can just choose his matchup, or choose her matchup very well. Silencer
We're
coming
going
in.
for 5 heroes. The big brain lineup.
It's true. Left side knocked out the Nyx, so they can't even blow up the Ant this time. Silencer should do fine here. Support Orc so far. He might have a little trouble with the Dawnbreaker if he doesn't see it coming, but if he does, if he's able to predict it fairly decently, which isn't that hard. Dawnbreaker is not exactly a wild card. Dawnbreaker is not exactly the most, you know, the craziest hero as far as timing and plays go. You should be able to global that once in a while at least, ideally. More often than not, probably. Razor Sniper going down. Am I actually audible in this call right now? I feel like I might not be.
Yes.
Okay. Keep talking
I
over me.
responded to you. But yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
What were you talking about, Randy? Nobody had heard that.
I wasn't talking about anything.
Yeah, just talking to yourself, talking in your sleep, as usual.
Radiant team.
I've seen a lot of Razor picks as sort of counters or informal bans so far this season. It's been getting a lot of playtime, so no argument with that ban. Sniper and the Viper, very interesting. Might be indicating that Gotham's calling the bluff on the mid Dawnbreaker here. Doesn't really think it's going to happen.
Heroes that Iceman doesn't want to play against mid. That's events.
Yeah, unfortunately, Iceman's not in this game.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Heroes that Dragon doesn't want to play against mid. When we did the Randy Memorial, we actually added the 2-hero ban policy specifically because Dragon was like, I don't want to play against Sniper and Viper, and I was like, okay, why not? Just ban that. Techie's knocked out here. They don't want to see that Gotham techies. Still playing it. Probably the only techies player left, maybe besides Yolk Soup. Drow Ranger knocked out. No surprise that this MMR, Drow Ranger, is almost the rock of the meta. So getting rid of her is, even if you have good options for it, not necessarily a bad idea.
10 seconds remaining.
You ever heard of the gold
5
standard, Randy?
seconds remaining.
What's the gold standard?
What?
What's the gold standard?
Oh, used to be that most currencies were fixed to an exact amount of gold they could buy, right? So the value of everything was based on the price of gold, the value of gold, and how whatever you had compared to it. Right now, in this 3.5k and under MMR demographic, Drow is that gold standard. Everything in this meta, if Drow actually gets to be in the game, it's kind of weighted on how good or bad it is against her. Even at higher MMRs, that's the same to a degree, but it's certainly the case here in the LD2L circuit. Outworld Devour knocked right out of contention here. Another Gotham hero. Bringing up the Rubik. We've seen a lot of very good Rubik play in the last couple of weeks on folks like Dark Ace. Seen some on Roxy Roro.
10 seconds remaining.
That's a good Rubik. This is likely going to be our Howler.
Rubik against Silencer is not as good as it sounds, but I mean it's good, just not for globals because you're not going to get it against a good Silencer player.
Yeah. The upside is Rubik
It's pretty dangerous. Rubik is going to do a lot of damage. You're just not going to silence people.
Rubik is very good against the Lena, at the very least. The ability to knock out her damage, especially before she gets BKB, is a very good thing to have, and it's not a bad thing to steal any of her skills. And same kind of goes for the Shadow Demon. Very interesting pick. Not been seeing much of him in this tournament so far. Likely, I believe that could be our Gotham or could be our DVD. I think that's our Gotham.
I'm assuming they want to save against like a trio of Dawnbreaker spells.
Yep.
Or like lifts.
Or they just want to make clones of Legion Commander when she has 1 billion damage. That's also
or they
a
want to,
possibility.
or they want to grief their LC during duel.
They could also do that if they want to be funny. SD Legion Commander, if you're coordinated at all, basically, can be a very devastating combination. The ability for Shadow Demon to negatively affect an enemy duel and stop people from getting involved on the other side can be pretty nasty. And it's just, it's a source of magic damage that you have to think about in particular.
Dire team ban.
Dusk. Somebody asked RayBaeBae to play Tusk before this round started. I believe that was you, Ray. And now it's actually happening.
RayBaeBae does everything I tell him to do.
Is he a simp?
10 seconds remaining.
He's specifically my simp.
I mean, it makes sense. You're RayBaeBae, he's JBae. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
true.
about as close of a
Because
connection as
Bay
you can
together. Bay at the moon.
Radiant team
get. Phantom Assassin Ben. Bit interesting. I don't know if I like PA that much in this game.
Dire team ban.
I think the PA is good because it can get on the Lena, but I agree it's pretty questionable into the Legion Commander. I think the Radiant team is missing damage right now because besides the one-time burst from Tusk, until the Dawnbreaker gets items, Rubik and Treant Protector, they don't really do that much damage.
The good news is they do have the best possible pick in this phase to correct that issue. We were going to be picking the Pause one last year. Spectre banned out. Gotham just taking out some of the more meta Pause ones at the moment.
I think what the Dire need is another tanky frontliner that can prevent the Lena, the Silencer, and the Shadow Demon from getting jumped on. So I'd like to see them pick up something tanky.
Yeah, it's going to be our either a 2 or a 1, depending on how much Gotham likes the Lena versus Dawnbreaker matchup. I'm going to assume probably our 2. for the most part. But
I think Lena's pretty playable here if you rush a if you stack a bit of armor and you rush a Hurricane Pike, because you can just force yourself out of the shards. And I think I would like to see Wraith King here for the Dire because it solves a lot of their problems. It doesn't really lose lane. It's really tanky. It can stand in the front. You have 2 lives, so you don't really care about getting punched by Tusk. And it lanes decent against the Dawnbreaker.
if you think Wraith King doesn't really lose lane, you must have not been watching much LD2L in your time.
Yeah, he loses lane, but he's
Almost
not supposed to
100% of the
lose
time,
lane.
yeah.
Only, I do agree. I don't think he loses this particular lane if they pick it.
I mean,
Sure
it's
they
gonna be
will,
Don
but-
Rubik. Rubik kind of sucks for a Wraith King to go into. You really don't want to just randomly be losing a huge chunk of your damage trying to get your last hits against a Don.
Radiant team pick.
We got
Necro. Gonna be Lena 1, Necro running 2. They did hear your call for a tanky guy, so there is that.
Also, another hero that Shadow Demon can grief.
That's
good.
true. Oh, I don't really think I like the Necro into this lineup.
5 seconds.
Very positioning based, meaning the ice shards are gonna mess you up a lot. There's a lot of magic damage on the team, especially if Rubik steals any of your crap. Like, if Rubik steals any of the Necro's stuff, he basically becomes the better Necro instantly.
I think you just turn off your Q button offensively as Shadow Demon in this game. Like, you just use it for saves. Otherwise, don't even come close to pressing it. It's like the worst offensive disruption game in history.
The good news is it's a great disruption game for creating clones of your buddies. Great disruption gang for making a bunch of friendly Lenas to just demolish towers. Great disruption gang for making a bunch of scary looking LCs. Good for using the silencer if he gets super scary for whatever reason.
I think it's actually okay here, because you need like another frontliner, and Necro can definitely frontline. And also, they drafted it, I think, a bit for the lane maybe, because you know this Tusk is going mid, and it's gonna feel really bad to play Tusk into a Necro in lane.
That's true. You're not going to feel quite as bad once lane phase ends, but in lane it shouldn't go too well for Tusk.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely want... Okay, Shadow Fiend.
Now select your heroes.
That's interesting.
Well, you
I
wanted
don't like
damage.
that at all.
That's an easy dual target though, no?
I don't like that at all. I think you need to farm a lot as Shadow Fiend, so you're gonna be running around the map a lot, which means you're gonna get dueled a lot. If you get scythed by the Necro, you're gonna die. If you get ultied by the Shadow Demon, you're probably gonna die. You don't super want to build an early BKB, but the Silencer will force you to build an early BKB, and this Lina can out manfight you. So I don't like this Shadow Fiend pick at all.
If there is a bit of good news, at the very least, LC actually winning the duels, if the rest of the lineup does play defensively, you know, it's going to be tough to win the duel with the Dawnbreaker ult coming down on your head, with the living armor in combination.
So,
You should still probably win the duel. Should still be fine. But the problem is doing that is the Dawn's going to have to be pretty defensive. Good news is we're not going to be seeing the Tusk Necro matchup. It's going to be Dawnbreaker Necro.
I'm calling it at least once. Howler's gonna steal Disruption and save someone.
Howler's going to steal Disruption and
Maybe.
save somebody on the enemy team.
He's gonna save someone from the Scythe or from a duel.
That would be good. This is a really good Rubik game, I think, for the most part. Both in his ability to blow up damage and his ability to just a lot of good spells to steal on the enemy lineup.
they have 2 insta saves with the Rubik, right? Like, you can steal Disruption and also you have Snowball, so it's pretty safe team generally, unless SF is farming alone.
And like I said, even if he gets surrounded, if they just they run 5 guys at him and Lone Wolf doesn't see him coming, he can just evaporate. But if it's like a 1v1 situation, the ability for the Dawn and the Treant to get involved could turn it around a lot. Well, last match, Ice got super fed as OD and won, so that's a good morale boost for Arkosh gang coming into this matchup.
Prepare for battle.
GLHF. Look, Lone Wolf is slicing heads. And trees? Can I get a street view of that? No, you can't do that if you're a caster. Very sad.
Is this a kitty carry?
Yeah, well, we'll do the roll call when we get there, but this is pause 1 kitty, pause 2 eyes. On left side lunchboxes, it's looter mid and RayBaeBae off. RayBaeBae 3. Oh, and DeBush pause 3 as well. She has to do because literally nobody else on this team except Gotham, who is one of their 2 support
Yeah,
players.
run at the
knows
bottom
all
room
3.
here. SF might get gone on.
He's gonna say whoops.
Stick a ward there. And run your heroes at the enemy team.
This is what happens when you don't have a single slow.
Matthias? I gotta question your decision to stand around here.
The battle begins.
First blood, Lena. That's not exactly how you want things to begin. At the very least, left side lunchboxes does take the half the runes. They just invade the top. Gotham is sponsored by High Ping. Well, this seems like a good a time as any to do the roll call, everyone's favorite part of the cast. So, for the left side lunchboxes, pause 1 on the Shadow Fiend, you have Lone Wolf. Pause 2, going way deep behind the Necro here, you've got Looter, captain of the team, last name is Shooter. You may also know him by his other name, Borderlands. Pause 3, you've got RayBaeBae, number 8. Is that his real name as a sponsor? I asked somebody that last week, they didn't know. Well, let's just pretend that one of you knows the answer to that. Pause 4, you've got Howler, who's in the toxic clan and is sponsored by Let Him Cook. Presumably he's talking about Walter White. He's standing in for Tall Balls this game. And pause 5, we've got MattyBoy on the Treon Protector, who is already taken out.
Eagles fan, clearly.
Yeah, big Philadelphia Eagles fan on the MattyBoy there. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin for Arkosh ganging, pause 1, we have Kitty on the Lena. Pause 2, we have Ice on the Necro. Don't confuse him with Iceman. Recently, I was talking with somebody about Ice, and I called him Liquid Iceman, and then I realized, wait, that's just Waterman. Pause 3, we've got DeBush, former perpetrator of 9/11, on the LC here, getting a little beat up. Pause 4, you've got Diva D, who is sadly replaced Inhale here as pause 4. We don't have the famous DeBush Gotham land on the silencer. And pause 5, we've got Gotham, captain of the team, who is just going to watch Kitty die now, I think. Yep.
Unfortunate.
Actually a really tough offlane for poor Kitty and Gotham.
You're leaning against 2 stuns, kind of unfortunate.
You're leaning against 2 stuns, leaning against some high damage, or leaning against a hero that can blow up your own damage. Not your magic damage, but your right clicks. It's all a little scuffed, and your support is not exactly the most offensive guy in the world. You have the disruption that's not got the best cooldown. And he doesn't have that much to offer for quite a few levels otherwise. The good news is that in the long term, you know, Lena is going to be the happy one in this equation, but for now, at the very least, things ain't going to go so hot. Speaking of not going so hot, Looter, for the first time this season, is pretty badly on the back foot here at mid. Down very considerably as far as the last hits and the denies goes. 10 last hit, well actually 11 last hit deficit, 5 deny deficit.
Recognized mid, very unfortunate.
Then again, that's not that surprising. That is a Necro here. This is just a pretty bad matchup for a lot of heroes. Dawnbreaker is no exception. Nothing else, she's able to keep her HP fairly consistently high, at the very least. The ultimate disaster would be if Necro just rolls over you mid, and then he just immediately scythes you when he hits 6, and you just die, give him a stag. That would really suck for Looter. LC going for the rare one-man overwhelming odds. Matty Boy going for the cast all my spells the second Silencer hits me with Q. Lose 2/3 of my HP. And then fail to juke and die. Matty, what are you doing? There's one unfortunate thing about Matty is that, well, he can play a competent support. This is not the role that he is most comfortable in, so a lot of these common pause 5 matchups, like with the Silencer, are just nothing he's played all that much, and you can kind of tell the lack of comfort in it coming out in cases like that. But it's CLD2L! Better to have that here than TI, that's what I always say.
This is why they drafted this SD Lena lane to miss stun combos, I see. Unfortunate, it happens. Get him next time.
So that's kind of the unfortunate thing about having a hero that needs a little coordination on somebody with no mic. Good save on Gotham there. He could actually still be in danger. Tusk has the shards. Does not want to risk it, though. She is riding the lightning so hard. Really don't know why she stuck around there. Assuming Tusk was out of mana, I guess?
You kind of lose the lane if you leave, so I don't know.
Well, you kind of lose a lane if you leave, but you don't necessarily need to leave. Just don't stay into a position where Tusk can just immediately kill you like that. Really was not a chance that went any differently, basically.
I think this is why you need kind of like a tanky boy support if you want to play Lena as a pause 1. It's not good if you have. It's kind of like playing Drow. You don't really want to play Drow with like a squishy support because the lane can get really awkward if they have heroes that can run at you.
Sad trombone. Yeah, the only downside is that Gabe decided he hates tanky supports, and so he made sure there was few of those in the game as possible right now.
Bottom is missing.
And they already took the best one right now, so that doesn't help. Probably we're just really hoping that Looter wasn't going to run with it here.
It's not looking too tanky right now, unfortunately.
Oh jeez, Lone Wolf.
Also dead. He's very dead.
Gotta teleport in from Howler here. Gonna take out the Silencer, but no such luck against the LC. That's your son, Ray. That's your son getting that dive kill right there.
I've never been more proud.
Really?
Well, I was kind of proud when he got to Ancient.
You won a season of LD2L, I just want to remind you of that. There's good instincts on Howler there to try and go in and make the save. Just a bit unfortunate that things were going so wrong he couldn't do that much. Got one revenge kill, and Tusk is doing okay on his own right now, so it's probably fine.
This Necro is going to be a huge problem. I think if Looter decides to watch this cast at some point, I think you need to really pressure the Necro in the first 3 levels before he gets to 4 and 5. So once he gets to 4 and 5 and you're a melee hero against him, there's like nothing you can do. If you play your cards right, you should be significantly ahead CS-wise in the first couple levels. You can't fall behind early on against the Necro.
Honestly, if I'm Looter and I'm listening to the stream, here's a piece of advice: you get goddamn Heller down here. Like, have some rotations on a mid like this. It's kind of unlikely you get the kill on him, but just routing him, forcing him to get back, and at least waste a load of his mana would be a big deal. Oh, he is listening.
Yeah.
They don't have enough damage between the two of them, though. You need another hero here if you want to kill him.
Well, like I said, the objective isn't necessarily kill the Necro, it's just force him back off the lane, stop him from, like, continually getting even more of a advantage as far as his last hits go, and force him to waste either a load of HP or a lot of resources getting back to full. You're not going to kill him, no two ways about it at this point, but at least putting him off the wave would be a very big start.
Yeah.
Tusk beaten up by the fake Tusks. Lone Wolf randomly dies again?
Oh, the
Oh!
Dawnbreaker ulti.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about the LC Dawnbreaker matchup. Unfortunately, this is one tree that's cut down. They didn't get the dual win, which is a little frustrating for the Bush, but they did get that first scythe, which is exactly what Ice wants. Last time we saw Ice run the Necro, he had our lane phase basically as good as this, but couldn't parlay it because A, RayBaeBae got him text message, and B, he didn't get any size, so 30 minutes he was pretty much just out of the game. Didn't matter how much money he had. He was just kind of like a pause 3 and pause 2's clothing. Starting off here by dominating the lane phase and then immediately picking up a scythe for your troubles is not a bad start at all. Again, definitely needs to parlay the success into something else. That's been kind of the problem with Ice through the series so far, through the season so far, is making the mid lane matter in the mid game. But, yeah, this is a good start, no two ways about it. Speaking of good starts, good start for LC. Kind of sucks to lose the first duel and then die on it. But she can't be crying too much. She's third highest net worth in the server, and second place is a dude who got almost just outright fed in this offlane.
Yeah, I mean, I can see RayBaeBae being a problem in this game.
Ray, who's
If he
messaging
hunts this Lina.
Is that a midstream cameo by the season 13 Smurf of the season? Right there. Damn, I guess we're never gonna know. Dota 2? Dota 2, indeed. Man, I feel bad I can't remember his name. Randy, who is the guy on in season 13 on their team?
So it's Laser.
Yeah, Laser Goes Pew Pew. There we go. We might have a midstream cameo there from Laser Goes Pew Pew, you never know. Ice just taking waves and waves down here while Looter's trying to find something of value to do. Has decided maybe the thing of value is to go bot. I don't know about that. I feel like Looter is actually in a better place to do something about bot when he's not physically here. He's great at saving dual targets. He's not good at saving himself when he's dueled.
I think an idea for a lane swap they could have done is if they sent the Shadow Fiend mid. Shadow Fiend lanes actually really well into Necro, and then you can send Looter bottom, and that works a little bit better against the LC lane. So
yeah, you potentially
something
could.
that we can try next time. Because right now it feels like it's all on RayBae to like make it happen.
There is a bit of good news, you know. RayBae, I feel like is somebody who has historically had a lot of success at making things happen. Needs some direction. Can't be doing these tower dives under mid T1 and dying for no reason. But if he averts that, he is somebody who is a playmaker. He is, as pre-game chat said and determined, he is a gamer. RayBae plays the game. I think he and Matt, as far as play style goes, actually very similar. Godlike Matt.
He is part of the Bae clan, so I have to back him up here.
Now the good news is for him is I think Matt himself is probably going to be a little stronger in the end, but RayBae has the advantage that he has a support player that plays support. The Bush feels like everybody on Dire is just completely in the driver's seat right now. All of their core are just doing whatever they want. It doesn't really feel like there's much contest there outside of Rubik just snaking a camp there off of the Necro. Just being an annoyance.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Like Kitty just at mid right now, just with nobody even looking at her, is just gonna get just free farm here for a while. While poor Shadow Fiend just has to hide out in the jungle. He is actually coming out here. A bit of action happening at top. First Treon ult of the game is going to send the poor Shadow Fiend into space.
Good push. He's gonna duel RayBaeBae.
But unfortunately, he ain't gonna win it. And Tusk goes into the snowball before he gets scythed!
Nice snowball, nice snowball.
Woo!
The scythe wasn't gonna kill Looter, but it's still a really good scythe.
Well, it wasn't. Snowball. The scythe was supposed to be him. He snowballed at the perfect time and made the scythe misclick on Looter.
Nice.
Because they're standing at the same spot. Tusk does go down for it, but this is an awesome play otherwise on this lineup. It would be good if they didn't just randomly lose somebody chasing the Gotham. Okay, good. The Shadow Demon is going to be an annoyance to them in trying to make bigger plays like that, but that was a very good look for this team. Diva D is in maybe not where he wants to be right now.
I feel like it's not easy to win duels in this game.
RayBaeBae knocking out the kitty. Yeah, that's something I was talking about at the top of the game. It's like
you need to play around the Dawn cooldown, and like if Dawn refuses to use ulti on anything except for dual targets, then you just don't win duels, I guess.
Yeah, especially considering that soon the cooldown differential is not going to be much, 30 or 90 seconds to 60, so it's going to be hard to just go around it. Like I said, they got the Dawn ult, and they don't really have anything else pressing to use it on. And they got the living armor as well, which is something that's going to have an impact. Even against squishier guys, it's going to be pretty tough to get the duels done. Would not be terribly surprising if the only duel wins we saw from the bush were on characters with legitimately almost no HP left.
I like to see this Necro play a little bit more aggressively. It's pretty hard for the other team to kill him.
LC in trouble here. LC dead.
Speaking of playing aggressively, they dive for the bush.
It's like I said, man is playing the game. RayBaeBae playing the game. I think a lot of people slept on this guy when the draft was happening in the week 1 phase. Well, you can see here he's definitely a very solid pos 3 player. Ice, meanwhile, taking the tree toll down here at bot, now has 2 Reaper Scythes, which is probably not exactly one. Okay, Gotham just
insta deletes Gotham with that Deso.
Yep, Deso 4 charges already. Got the glyph there. I like Looter dodging the tower shot with the illusion rune.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The Dire are going to, as tradition dictates, take the bot T1 Radiant here. Though, right now they are getting pressured on their T2 here. They're going to actually have to think about defending it. 3-man smoke coming out here.
I don't think this, like, hitting the T2 when you're sub-level 10 really makes a lot of sense. It just takes way too long to kill the tower. You're much better off just farming camps and getting the waves out.
I think the idea is less necessarily there to specifically kill the T2 and more to get the enemy to play in a predictable spot. Which is exactly what happened, and they moved at the exact time for it too. They just got everybody to just 5-man up here to try and defend it, and then just left and started farming the second they knew they were committed to it. It's kind of the Looter mentality, the way he likes to organize things. You know, it's like artillery, right? You don't necessarily strike the artillery because you expect to hit something with it. You strike the artillery a lot of times just because you don't want something there. Matty Boy is about to tank a hell of a gank. Do not let a duel go to Matty Boy here, please. Nope.
In some ways, this is actually a good tank of the gank.
Yep.
Unless Shadow Fiend gets himself killed somehow anyways. Nope.
Nah, he's already out.
Dire's top tower is under
Does
attack.
suck finally losing the duel there. You really wanted to keep LC as down as you can, but dropping 1 isn't terribly bad. And Lunchboxes have a lot of map control right now. It feels like the exact opposite of the situation we saw at the start of the game, where the Arkosh team is having to play pretty predictably, having to barrel down, move exclusively as 5, play somewhat defensively, while the Lunchboxes have pretty free reign over the map and are doing crazy things right now, like trying to invade triangle with 3. And again, just getting the Gotham team to move exactly how they want. Like, look at that. You know, they just show in the triangle, they take 1 ward, and everybody on Arkosh just barrels right here. And all the cores get space. It's a good psychological profiling of the Arkosh ganging lineup. Four-man smoke here. Left side Lunchboxes. Taking a look through the jungle here. They're going to find Lena. She sticks around. She ain't, though. She's moving to the wave. Oh, baby.
TP.
Doesn't matter. They actually just dropped a hell of a lot on the Necro here. I like RayBaeBae standing in the
I'm
front
surprised they
there.
don't just fight the Necro there. I feel like you can just kill the Necro.
I think they're worried about response. Oh no, they're just trying to make sure that the Shadow Fiend doesn't die in bot. And they did successfully do that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oof.
I feel like while this Necro really did a great job in lane, I'm just not feeling the impact of the farm.
Yeah, that's something that I mentioned at the top of the game that's been unfortunately kind of a historical problem for the guy, is parlaying the success. Ice does great in the first 12 minutes, but it feels like after that point he does get a little lost. He's going to get his fight for himself here. Goodbye, Tree. Matty really needs to stop letting this happen to him. They got a great team to exploit him doing that. Between the Int Steal, the Scythes, and the dual wins.
They have 3 permanently scaling heroes, so...
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is definitely a place where Pos 5 kind of doing the wrong thing can have a disproportionately negative impact.
Radiant's middle tower
Not really
is
sure why Shadow Fiend's popping up here. But at least he's going to get a wave for it. 4-man smoke, Arkosh. Not exactly sure what they're looking for. They're just going to head down bot. Oh, 5-man smoke as Kitty bought a separate smoke and did it to herself. That's kind of funny.
I think I would really like to see Kitty hit more camps here. If you're playing Pause 1, you gotta hit camps.
Looter's hitting camps. Camps are about to hit him too. I think she has PTSD from the Tusk encounter she's had, is the issue. Looter is in way more trouble than he realizes, I think. Oh no!
Oh god,
They trolled
no.
the duel. It's fine. She's actually still gonna lose that.
I think it's fine what Gotham does there, actually. It's like... Unless that hero's not the Dawnbreaker. If that hero's not the Dawnbreaker, it's a mega grief to do that, but like it's fine because they don't have instant response.
Yeah, Looter definitely wants to be playing somewhat carefully and be responsive to the smokes there. Having that death sucked. It's not going to be a turnaround, but it's not great for him. If he lets that, you know, become a habit, if he just gets picked off in the jungle whenever he decides to break and farm, he's going to be in big trouble. Because he's the best shot they got at like just not throwing duels and stuff. Looking pretty aggressively for the
RayBaeBae up
Tusk.
here.
Ooh, big play from RayBaeBae, baiting 4 heroes top. The
Yeah,
map play on this Dire team is just all over the place. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. You rotate 4 heroes to try and catch a Tusk with a blink.
It's
Who's already running away.
It's a nice situation because, you know, at the very least we have something positive to say. I do think left side Lunchboxes are taking very good advantage of how the Dire is playing this game. They're predicting very accurately and very well what exactly Gotham is going to do. You can definitely tell Looter's been watching some tapes. Or somebody's been watching some tapes, I don't know.
Radiant are scanning.
But they seem to have the Gotham team psychologically profiled really well. It's kind of got them playing exactly what they want them to do at any given point. Howler is standing by this T1 top, and he got a line drawn on him on the map. LC's hungry, but
Dire's bottom
she ain't gonna get to
tower
eat
is under
today.
attack.
Looks like
Oh,
these
you're
guys
tower
are.
damage.
Radiant's top tower
These guys
is
are
under
perfectly
attack.
content to trade the towers here. Tusk just
What is
ruining
going
Lena.
on? Okay. Unfortunate.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Gotham teleported alone. If they realize that, then he's just done.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's
I
kinda
don't
what
think
was
that
mentioning
deserved
earlier.
to. Don't think that deserved the Matty ult.
Like, if this Tusk just hunts Kitty, there's really nothing they can do.
Oh, this is the BKB reveal in the Necro. But unfortunately for him, BKB does not stop that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Once again, predicting very well there exactly how the Gotham lineup is going to be playing this and just
Dire's
responding
bottom
accordingly.
tower is under attack.
Kind of baiting it, just responding very well to the sort of conga line that Arkosh gave them there. Astoundingly, the Dire actually made a net profit there off the kill on Matty Boy. Poor guy. Poor Treant. 5k net worth advantage. First Roche attempt going on now.
I think you're kind of seeing a bit of a difference in terms of the leadership from RayBaeBae and from, I would say, maybe Debush or someone on the Dire side in terms of just playing the map here.
Poor Looter getting completely shaded. You know, he watches these. I mean, in fairness, I don't know what the playmaking structure on Leftside is like. I do know that it's improved considerably since they had their first couple of matches, where the big issue that I felt like they always had is that they just were lost as far as organization. You know, you had like RayBaeBae running under towers and fun stuff like that.
Like, this play looks very, very clean. I think the Dire keeps trying to force things. Like, they have like 5 people in their triangle right now for a reason that I think is mystifying. Like, are they going to make a play or not?
I assume they're going to try and invade jungle here, presumably looking for the Fiend, but Fiend ain't one of those guys who takes Aegis and farms with it.
That's a little on the top lane while they're doing this, so I don't know. It's
Dire's
kind of,
top tower
kind of
is
weird.
under attack.
Got it.
Dink, 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 dink. Tower just getting hammered here. Looter realizing nothing is coming out of this and is just going to take it down.
Dire's top tower.
Arkosh is going to posture on the T2, but I don't think this is a team that's going to be afraid to start poking your T3 and make you come home.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And indeed,
Radiant's bottom
Lone Wolf
tower
even
is
decides to
under
tank the
attack.
tower damage, never mind.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Well, now he's doing it whether he wants to or not. And yep, Rainbow TP's coming up to top. Every single member of Arkosh getting into the position here for the uphill. And can you guess what happens? The Lunchboxes give it to him, just walk away.
Waste their time and then leave, yeah.
If you're the Lena there, you can't TP back that early because you now have this situation where like you can't go out of your base to farm, but you also can't go and force a fight because they're stronger than you. You need to stay bottom and like hit camps and wait for them to commit and then you go in.
Got a bit of a commitment going on here. This is another sad situation where, okay, that time Gotham just straight trolled his team. Luckily they baited a completely worthless ult out of the
Director and
Shadow Fiend.
MBKB, yeah.
I don't know how much Lone Wolf cares right now. He's probably just gonna get back to work. And that he does, just going right back to bonking the tower here. Gotham lineup trying everything they can to get him to stop doing that, but he's not gonna walk away without having half the tower's HP knocked off there. Okay, this is a good move, and the snowball. Oh my
yeah.
god, the snowball there!
Snowball? Okay.
Only
my God.
downside is that they're all bunched up now and just all gonna die. Dawn's back. Wants to try and save the
Oh, 3-man
Shadow
stun.
Fiend.
That was
The funny thing
sick.
is if the Shadow Fiend stayed there, I think they could have fought.
Ooh, that's so sad.
Unfortunate. So, I don't know, SF BKBs before Aegis. That's kind of a problem in that fight, but
I
Also,
think
the
if
blown
you're-
Requiem.
If you're doing this build on Shadow Fiend, you need to get Mask of Madness. It's like, really important.
Gets a Cloak of Flames, though, and leaves it on the ground. Never mind.
Also, as the highest MMR player, I'd like Debush to prioritize his own game a little bit more. He's like really underfarmed compared to what he should be, considering how hard he owned that lane.
Yeah, he's been trying to get the space out to Lena there to catch back up, which has been working to a good degree. Especially in that last fight, you know, Lena just made a pretty big chunk of change and forced a buy out of one of her major competitors, passing up the Dawn in the process.
Yeah. I like this Hurricane Pike from the Lina. Although I wonder at this point, because it really feels like that our team is missing damage, whether you should just go like straight dataless or something. Not clear.
Tusk nearly to BKB. Do you think that's going to actually change quite a bit in this equation? Going to knock out the Necro ability, especially to deal with them in an incapacity? Not like Necro's really been able to do that much to him. It's funny, Ice has been at the top of the net worth chart for this entire game, it feels like, but I would bet you dollars to donuts if you looked at the actual damage chart, he'd probably be pretty low on the list. And he's going for the Ags here, which is interesting. Wants to get that reduced Ghost Shard cooldown, so I guess he can just get knocked off the map by the magic damage on Radiant? I'm not really sure what that's about. Dawnbreaker's about to run into smoke. Dawnbreaker's about to run into smoke in a big way. Oh, baby. Oh, this ain't good. Yep.
but DVD is the hero there. Just like standing exactly where Looter is, like tracking him with an invis.
And now with Looter dead, they just immediately run to the enemy team. Oh my god, Howler tried to clip the bush. That would have been really funny. Ooh, the Walrus Punch into the Shadow Fiend ult. Elsie's actually coming back.
My bad.
But I really gotta question what she thinks she's gonna do here. It's just too late.
Kitty's doing a lot of damage.
She was gonna get to watch Kitty
Dire's top tower is
get
under
some kills there.
Howler, nice
Take out the Howler.
lift. What a god.
No such luck.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I gotta say, they did get the Tusk, and that's a very big kill. But they did just drop the LC buyback to do that, and they lost the Necro anyway. It's a little hard to say that was particularly worth it. Definitely feels like the Looter team needs to make a commitment to getting rid of the Lina. I feel like if Lina just gets to come in, sweep up repeatedly, just keep getting kills, and not be in any real danger in these fights, it's going to really suck to be them very soon. A lot of commitment to the Necro that doesn't necessarily need to be there. Looter's definitely got to know now that they're just going to be... Every time Looter is somewhere on vision and he can't see the enemy team, they're probably coming from him. He's got to learn that lesson now. And you lose nothing by playing like it, because it's like, either you just constantly frustrate the enemy team, make you chase them all around the map, or you get them to try and go in on your lineup and just drop in on them. So, it's what you want either way. Play like it, Looter. Come on, man.
I really like someone on the Radiant pick up Nullifier. I think it's really good this game.
Nully? Yeah, you can make Necro less annoying. I don't know necessarily if annoying wins this game, though. I think they need to build mostly around the Lina at this point. Lina and LC.
I think the thing with the Nullifier is this Lina is building Hurricane Pike, and Hurricane Pike actually makes her kind of hard to kill. And this, especially with the Force Staff already on the Silencer, so it helps you deal with the Necro, and it deals with both the Hurricane Pike and the Force Staff. So I think
Not
it's
going
pretty-
Pike, she switched to MKB.
Well, there you
Oh, I might
go.
have it on career actually. I could be wrong. Let's see. Nope. Okay.
No, yeah, it's just going for McBee. Concerted pushes both
Attack.
off lanes.
Seems questionable. I think you really want bots here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The Dire were predicting that Radiant would respond to their push at T2 bot by coming to kill them. The actuality is, looks like they're just going to be pressuring the T3s again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they get the
Double
TPs.
damage.
Yep, big rainbow of TPs there. Iron Branch dropped here. Matty Boy walks over his own kind.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Waiting on the Roche spawn. It's in 10 seconds. It's a little annoying. They're gonna opt to smoke, actually. As for what they're looking for, I can't tell you.
Is under attack.
They're gonna sweep bottom, and if Lina goes bottom, they might catch her.
Dire are scanning.
They did just find the LC in the jungle there. And wow, they just completely creamed her.
Deleted, yeah.
Which is, on one hand, good news. On the other hand, still not really who you want, per se. Really want the Lina most. There is one bit of good news. It's that when the Lina BKB goes down to the 6 seconds version, that was a little odd. RayBaeBae is not going to let this go. The Lone Wolf doesn't know which one the real Shadow Demon is. Global silence. Just got stolen and used back! Oh no, bro!
What? How did that happen?
Ooh, Ice just going for the desperation play on the Shadow Fiend there. It just doesn't work.
That spell shouldn't be sealable.
Ouch.
Okay, odd.
No buybacks on the Dire either. Elsie's going to be up in a few, but this tower is still looking very dead, very fast. Just slightly unfortunate the Way's in a bad spot.
Kind of surprised the Necro doesn't finish the Kaya Sanj here. I feel like the status resistance is actually pretty helpful. And
Tell what he's going for instead. Trying to push out 2 lanes here and split the Shadow Demon and LC's attention. No, never mind. Why aren't we doing that? Yeah, this is a bit unfortunate that at this point they've now basically wasted the entire power play that they got. Didn't accomplish anything.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Should be able to Roche at least. This should be fairly safe Roche without the Necro there.
I actually really like this Blink Deso Shard build that Looter has on down. It's really good.
They're doing him well so far. 5-man smoke coming out of Arkosh, but it's a little late. Let's take Shard here.
They're going anyway, looks like taking the 65. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're just being annoying with the Necro.
Cool.
The disruption
There.
dodges the LSA.
I think they should just farm here because JB almost has Ags, and when his Blink Ags, they can go high ground so easily.
Got it.
Blink, kick someone out, and they're dead.
Yeah, there's not really any ability for them to, especially if they get lucky and catch the Lina with that, there's not really any option for that. I guess if there is one piece of good news, it's that Shadow Fiend can just kind of take this without thinking about it at all. He's got Satanic and he's got the Aether, so he can just look at a tower for a minute. They're trying to deny it! They did deny it! Didn't lose Aegis for it. We need to be defensive here. Global Science comes out!
Oh!
Oh! Shadow Fiend won the duel!
Okay. That was still a really big play by the Bush, actually. That duel was masterfully done.
Dire's
Yeah, that
bottom
was
tower
huge.
is under attack.
I think if you're the Shadow Fiend there, you really gotta spam your BKB.
It's a bit unfortunate.
Also, I'm surprised that Dawn didn't ulti to save him
Dire's
there.
bottom tower is under attack.
Dawn did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Oh
Seems
no,
like it's
Dawn
on
didn't.
pretty-
Never mind. Dawn, I don't know, must not have been on cooldown or didn't think about it or something. Maybe he just didn't want to go that deep in? Oh my god.
Radiant's middle tower
Maybe just
Oh,
wanted
no.
to die. Also valid.
Necro just getting beat the hell up. Global silence to try and save him here. Seems like a lot for the Necro at this point, but it does work out.
We'll save him, yeah. That's fine, it's a
Got the
rather
lead.
short cooldown.
Uh-oh. These guys are in more trouble than they realize, I think.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, RayBaeBae just being as annoying as he can.
This X!
No.
I think they can keep fighting. They're pretty strong.
Gotham eliminated.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a very good duel win there. I do think if they do keep fighting here, if I'm
They got
Lunar,
a no
definitely
Dawn
just
vision here. This is like very awkward to fight.
if they do keep fighting this and Shadow Fiend ends up in trouble, definitely need Looter to just buy and drop. He does have the ability to do that. Howler down.
There's 5 seconds to duel. This guy might get dueled. Oh, Requiem. Nice. Whatever.
Someone's
Looking
about to die. What if he wins this duel?
You mean
Oh,
like
no.
this? Just like I said, perfect timing from the Looter buyback. 2 duel wins for the Shadow Fiend, who now has 66 bonus damage.
I'm taking bets on who ends up with more dual damage at the end of the game.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend's actually like a duel away from matching LC. Incidentally, Shadow Fiend did hear your call for the nullifier. He's building it now.
Yeah, it's really good this game. Especially because there's a Hurricane Pike on the Lina now.
And he has made it to first place. It's a very interesting situation how the heroes kind of synchronize with each other there. I think in a vacuum, late in the game, you gotta favor Lina in the Lina versus Shadow Fiend matchup, but I feel like the Dawnbreaker is making it such a big problem for Lina, and her own team isn't really doing the same for her. For the most part, they can be annoying, but it doesn't really feel like Necro at this point is anything but the punching bag that they just have to mulch through before they can start the fight, you know?
Yeah. Okay, somebody please tell Kitty that she needs to build Glipnir on Lina, because that's why Lina +1 works. If you don't build Glipnir on Lina, it's just really bad.
Kitty! Build the Gleipnir!
Well, I think the thing is, like, you want something that can force the other team to use their dispels. And the later it goes, actually, the better a Glipnir is. So Glipnirs are like really good early on when they don't have dispels, and then later when you force them to use their dispels.
And they're not good in the middle of the game when the enemy team does have dispels, they just don't care to use them.
Right, exactly. But like, if you see right now, like if you root this Dawnbreaker, he's just gonna die. So it's basically just as good as a stun, and it's AOE. So
Dawn just got Stormcrafter. Dawn keeps it, that can actually be kind of a pain for that, but is not going to, is going to put that up. Dawnbreaker is going for a Bloodthorn here.
Bit of a smoke play here.
Yep. Uh-oh.
we're about to see some hot and heavy action.
You see Lina. Global. BKB comes out. Tusk desperate, but he can't get around his own shards. He's gonna have to settle for the Necro.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Getting duel
Duel.
again. Who's gonna die?
Oh no!
Not like this.
And the immediate ult from the looter!
Disaster. Okay.
Shadow Fiend officially has more dual damage than the Legion Commander.
Yeah, that's the
Radiant's top
backbreaker.
tower is under attack.
Yikes.
Game could legitimately just end right now.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Someone teach the bush how to duel.
Man, that's messed up. Ice did nothing to deserve that.
Are under attack.
First set of racks going down. All the buys coming out now. Gotham does not want to let this go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know how much of a choice he has, though, to be honest with you.
I'm surprised they don't just keep going. Like, no carry on the other team. And any death is a dieback here.
You want to
is
look at the
a-
Roche pit here, which is not going to be up for
I guess
30.
it's close. Yeah. Oh wow, Tusk is going for a nullifier too. I guess they all heard the call to buy nullifiers, huh?
Yeah, stream snipers.
Yeah, that's what stream sniping gets you. Kitty says well played. Only Kitty was stream sniping. I'm sure Howler is. So Howler.
We should slip in like fake advice one of these times later.
Yeah, yeah,
map
yeah.
makers get to put in
Yeah,
fake
Divine
islands and shit.
Rapier is the best item in the game. Howler should buy one.
Here's what I'm thinking, okay? If Shadow Fiend really wants to show everybody how to win this game, just break the items. Just do that and win anyway. That's the ultimate style. I say do that. US Danny's done it. Why can't you?
This Scotty is pretty good. I think you can also consider getting an Arcane Blink here, because I think that the ulti is going to be really strong. And you're going to get the talents that help the ulti in terms of fear very soon. So,
Yeah. Already 25.
yeah. I think if you're a Kitty here, you're really wishing you had bots. It just feels very awkward to play Lina this late in the game without bots, because you can't shove the waves down as far as you'd like.
This is a good global. Good duel. And yeah, Tusk is just gone.
Howler has a Lincoln's.
He said that he was buying it earlier. He's I see.
Oh,
I don't want to
a
get sick.
buyback. I need
Yep.
to. They should just run at them here.
They want to maintain the power play. Necro in the middle of everyone. Oh no, the
Maybe-
buyback was a disaster.
Nice nullifier though. Managed to kill the Necro with it. Silencer buys back. I think they should just force the fight here. I mean, no BKB on the Lina.
They ain't gonna do it. They just wanted to secure Roche.
I guess that makes sense. It's like the safer play. I like this Scotty pickup from Lone Wolf. I think it's really good. It's actually played really well. I feel like this is a very hard game for Shadow Fiend.
He made it look easy.
Well, I guess when you get 104 free damage, you know, game's a lot easier.
Yeah,
than
when
it
you get
should be.
104 free damage and the Dawnbreaker doesn't have anything to do but just ult on you whenever you're about to die, it gets a lot easier, yeah. Howler gonna be the one to look in the Roche pit? Somebody gonna be the one to look in the Roche pit?
I think
why
in
we're here, right?
hindsight, you have to question this Legion Commander pickup after they saw Dawn so early on.
What do you mean in hindsight? That's what I said at the time. You just weren't
Oh,
listening.
Maybe to my hindsight.
Yeah, there we
Look,
go.
I don't really look at my hind that often, so everything's in hindsight for me.
Gonna take the refresher shard off this Roche here.
Your shrine has fallen to the radiant.
Be really good for the looter if he wants to, or we could go for the double BKB. Matty boy is dead.
I think the double Dawn ulti could just be super strong here.
Yeah, Don's gonna retain the cheese instead.
Got it.
Tusk trying to make a play with the ninja gear back here.
Oh, you're waiting for Maddie.
Probably.
Definitely don't really like having the refresher shard on the Shadow Fiend here. I don't know, maybe it's okay. I just feel like double Dawn ulti is so strong.
Yeah, I feel like the most ideal situation is just double on the Dawn, double B. Well, she doesn't have BKB, but double the ult, double the cheese if you can get a second cheese somehow by the end of the game.
JayBae traps himself in the shards. That was hilarious.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot. You can really tell JayBae probably isn't really used to the big Tusk Ice shards because he's been blocking himself on it a lot.
Oh, from getting the shard, right? On Tusk?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, increases the depth.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You can actually clear an entire wave, I think, if you just shard and roll into it. So, yeah.
I think there's less of an Arkosh presence here than Lunchboxes realize, perhaps.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Lincoln's immediately just pops on the Lone Wolf.
Dire's top barracks has
Aller
Wait,
just
this
sticking
Shadow
it on him.
Fiend- This Shadow Fiend is not scared at all. There's a Lincoln's, and he's getting Lincolns and Lotuses constantly.
Well, this is why he's not scared. It's because he DC'd. He's not playing.
Can't be scared if you're not there, you know?
Just ask Mikkel last week, who was out of the game for like 40% of round 2. Two lanes of racks down for the Dire here. It's really hard to see any sort of path to victory, especially with Lina still trailing the Shadow Fiend and even the Dawnbreaker. The Tusk has fallen off, and that's the good news, but he's not doing really any worse than the other two cores on this lineup, including the LC with less dual damage than the Shadow Fiend. Oh no, LC actually got more now. Nice, good job, LC. On that dual looter. I am a Tusker. I'm going to ping the battle lane. What does it mean? I don't know. Lone Wolf is back. Here we go. Time to kicky. Time to kicky the kitty. Right? Matty Boy says Guar. It's his favorite band. And the Lunchboxes just casually walk away. Look at how much of a problem these super waves are for the Dire here. I am a Tusker. I say we get the mega creeps. I say we push out a lane a million miles away instead of going just pushing mid through and hitting with behind the back door.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
Shadow
is
Fiend
under
disagrees, which is
attack.
why he's hitting this wave with the creeps mid. The slightly disrespectful Lotus Orb. Support line, well, not even the support line, because I believe the Lotus Orb is. No, it is the support line. Uh
Dire's bottom tower has
Cool.
oh. Legion actually wins it.
But
Yeah, everybody's busy beating up the Necro. Gets his revenge at the end, but
Okay. Nice horse.
unfortunately
Oh,
the kick puts Kitty out of commission. He's gonna buy. It's a protest buy at this point. This game is sliding away.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega.
I don't know what she expected that. Okay, that's good. But unfortunately, that's better. Gotham tells the G's and we're going home for game 1. Very good game on the part of the Leftside Lunchboxes, who came in with a lot of potential pitfalls, and I just don't feel like they fell into any of them. Great play from JayBae, good play from the Shadow Fiend. Overall, just a very dominating looking performance. You know, if this week's matchup is to determine who gets to be the coveted dark horse in the Season 14 race, Leftside Lunchboxes certainly made a good argument for themselves there. Will they make a good argument for themselves again? I don't know. See what happens next time.